Good afternoon, everyone. It is the second day of the holiday writing month, and I hope you're doing splendidly. I have to say, yesterday was a bit of a hard day for me. My morning and afternoon, I had some appointments, one appointment that I had to go to. It was a good appointment, and I had a friend with me. And we had lunch afterwards and talked a lot. So that was good, but in the end, I had to sleep about 13 hours, I think. So I woke up quite late this morning. But you know what? That's all part of the process. That's just deal it is right now. But I am relatively satisfied with what I wrote yesterday during our live stream. It didn't go as easy as I had hoped. I'm still, I don't know, not so much searching for the perfect thing, but searching for how I can best bridge that time gap. So I'm still working on that, but that's good. That's all fine. Part of the writing process. Oh, for those who don't know me, my name is Ilse. I am a magic-wielding dragon companion and creator of worlds. And hey Tish, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. It's great to have you here. How are you doing with your outline of the cozy story you told me about yesterday? I'm looking forward to hearing more about that. For me, this is a chapter that I didn't write much about in my outline because it was, okay, I need a time bridge, and basically that's all I wrote. I need a time bridge, and I need to work it, that I need to make it happen that certain characters are there during the whole chapter, other characters will come in later, and I needed to work in the end to flow easily into the next chapter, time-wise, that there's no time gap between my current chapter and the next chapter. So, yeah, that's that was basically what I had in my outline, and it turns out that actually filling in that outline, actually writing that chapter, it's not yet the easiest thing to do. But you know what? I'm okay with that. So today I will continue to work on that, and I will see how it goes. Tish, you say you love it. You're going to start writing the first chapter today. It's going to be a shorter read, so hopefully you can finish the first draft by the end of the month. That's awesome. The first draft by the end of the month. Wow, that's amazing. I mean, right now, for me, I'm already happy if I can finally finish Go Fly by the end of the month, or rather the first draft. But it's taking me quite a while already. And this is just a short story. Well, not so short anymore. But, it's not a full novel, so that's, how shall I say that? It needs work, but that's fine. It's my normal process right now, and I've pretty much gotten used to it. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. And who knows, maybe in the future I can go back to writing 1,000 words in half an hour again, and pages upon pages in a day, but that's not how it works anymore for me at the moment. But you know what? Who knows what the future brings? We'll see about that. So yeah, right now I've got Finlay and Seamys. Those are two of the three princes in Dragon City. And they are in a tough situation. They're with the bad guys, let's call them that. And there is a lot going on. There is a hint of possible politics that might complicate things. There is still that fear of what Nejat is supposed to do. So a lot is going on, and these boys, they want to do something, but they're all tied up, so they really can't do anything. And they have lost the contact with their companion dragons, so that's quite an issue. But we'll see how it goes, if they can get the contact back again, and if they manage to get out of this dangerous situation, or if other things will happen. So let's get started with our creative session of today. 60 minutes again, like always. And I wish you all good luck and a lot of fun. Let me grab the session. Oh, and of course I also need to start a timer. That would be handy. There we go. Have fun. And that is the end of our creative session. How did it go for you guys? Let me first stop the timer. Oh, that would be handy. There we go. So how did it go for you guys? I saw that I have some people to greet in chat. Mackie, welcome in, welcome in. I hope you had a wonderful time. And I almost forgot to give the shout out to Tish. So people, if you don't know Tish yet, she is a cozy mystery writer. And she has released her first book, Not Before You Enter, about 2 months ago. So go check out her YouTube channel and check out the links to her new book. And Mackie is a wonderful friend I met, I think now about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. And she's a variety streamer and a very good friend of mine. So go check her out as well if you are also a bit into gaming like I am, besides writing. Mackie, you told us you just got back from Darren's birthday meal. Happy birthday to Darren, and I hope you had a wonderful time. And you told us your belly is full. They even gave you a free shot of some Greek drink to celebrate. Well, Greek drinks can be very good, from what I understand. Tish, you spent the time setting up your journals for 2026. That's awesome. And hey, Mackie. And Tish is going to follow Mackie on Twitch as well. Perfect, perfect. I know Tish told me a while ago that she likes games as well. And the fun thing I find about games is, yes, they can be a heck of a distraction from writing. So do it moderately. Well, do it in the way that works best for you. But I also found that gaming can actually help you in different ways. For example, if you play, let's say Aska, that's a game I play at the moment. One of the games I've played, Aska, is, let's say, a village management game with a component of survival. So it's a combination. And it will teach you how to sometimes really micro-manage your villages, but also to the point of nano management. That's what I call it. But it will give you insight into how things can work, how a production line can work, and things like that. And that can help you with planning in your own story. Another thing I noticed is, for example, any game that has a sort of building in it, like Aska, you build whole buildings all at once, but also games like Valheim and Enshrouded, where you use small building blocks, or games like The Sims, where you also use different kinds of building blocks. They can help you determine what you can and can't see. They can help you build a whole village and really see from where you stand what you can and can't see, even if you're not outside. Hey Shannon, welcome in. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for making friends with the like button. That's awesome. And you are getting set up for your day. That's awesome. Do you have a sprint coming up? I remember that you have sprints in about 15 minutes. I've had some problems with my live streams last week, or rather with my computer, not with my live streams. So far, yesterday and today, I didn't have a crash anymore with my laptop, so that's a good thing. I removed 2 programs, and that seems to help. So I really completely uninstalled some sound program that I did not install myself. It came installed with Windows, or Windows installed it in some update, and Windows Spotlight, which is a favorite of mine, but it might turn up with problems, and I found that Windows Spotlight itself crashed as well, just like that sound program. So I uninstalled that sound program, I closed Windows Spotlight, it's not in use at the moment, and so far so good. I have had no crashes anymore, so that's a total relief. Shannon, you say, yeah, live stream sprints on the hour, perfect. So guys, if you don't know it yet, Shannon is also a wonderful author, and you can check out her channel right here. Let me see. This should give. Yes, there we go. That's Shannon's channel. So go check out her channel as well. And in about 15 minutes, she will start with sprints as well. So yeah, that's great. So how did my creative session go? It's a mix. I was thinking about the name of a character. For now, I'm sticking with the name Inu, which you write as E-N-U. It's a African name, an Akan name, and it means the fifth son or the fifth child. And that works for me in this particular setting. I was wondering if I should use a different name, but for now I'll stick with it. I was also wondering what to use as a name for a particular tool that is being used in Tergene. And it's a Chinese bamboo flame stick. And it's a really simple device from ancient times, where people had a bamboo tube, and they had a tinder material in it, and they could light it and then douse it. And with the way this thing was made, you could later on open the bamboo tube again, blow on it, and then you would have fire again, so you could light a campfire or anything that you needed. So that's extremely helpful when you're traveling around. Now, of course, it has things in it that might not be that particularly safe. So in modern times, I don't think it's used that much. You will see it a lot in Chinese series, I think also in Korean series, because they were used there. And so I was looking for a way to call it, and I'm probably going to butcher it when I say it in Chinese. Let me find my notes about that. Here we go. The Huo Ji. I have no idea if I just completely butchered it. But it's essentially, they roll that material, that tinder material, in a very thin piece of specially produced paper, and they put it in that bamboo tube. And the closest I could find for an English translation is a flame stick. So I think I'm gonna go with that. Yeah. Shannon, you say, oh good, you're glad my PC is working again. Thank you. Yeah, it's such a relief that I found that particular issue, because I had no idea what was going on. My laptop just completely crashed, and I couldn't do anything anymore. I couldn't close a program. I couldn't use my mouse anymore. Literally nothing anymore. So all I could do was press the on and off button and just hold it until my laptop would shut down, and then start it again, and hopefully things would get back to normal. Luckily, I'm using Scrivener, so with a very small interval of saving, of backups. So luckily with both crashes, I had Scrivener open, but all my work was saved. So that was such an enormous relief. But yeah, at first I couldn't find it, and with thanks to a gaming community, I mean, some people there had some ideas where to look, and I looked in the what's called the event viewer. I hadn't heard of that before, and there I saw some errors relating to that sound program and Windows Spotlight. So that helped me extremely well. To say good morning to Shannon, and you're welcome for the shout out, Shannon. And Tish, you actually like that name, the name Inu. Oh, thank you very much. I was looking specifically for a name that meant fifth or something related to fifth, because it was the fifth member of that team. So that is why I was looking for it. And yeah. And Shannon, you also like it. And you like it that names mean something. Yeah, for me, it's important to have names for my characters that really mean something. Unless it's really a character that has nothing. That's more a background character that really doesn't have a big role or some function. I might even have some characters that simply don't have a name. Those are mostly world building characters. And I have to say that I don't know how this character will end up by the end of the story. For a few characters, I already have that in mind. I have already discovered that. For this particular character, I'm not quite sure yet. But yeah, it's a name that fits for this one very well. And I have like the names of Finlay and Seamys. And the fun thing with Seamys is I know that Irish people will tell me, you wrote it wrong. Well, yes and no. I mean, I know it's written Seamus normally in Irish. And instead of the U, I'm using the Y because I kept typing it wrong. So after the 100th of so times that I typed Seamys instead of Seamus, and I was about to correct it, I was like, you know what? They just want me to use Seamys instead of Seamus, so it's going to be Seamys. So that's how he got his name. And Finlay, that was a typo of finally, and I kept writing it wrong. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to keep that as a name. And then I found out it was actually a name. I had no idea. So, yeah, that's fun. And I saw Nejat as a name in a Turkish series. And I looked it up, and I'll look up the name. Let me see. And of course, I don't have the. I had his name, the name, the meaning of his name. Right now, I don't have it for some reason. I'll probably have it in other notes. But yeah, his name was something I deliberately chose as well. And there are more names of which the meaning of the name is something that I really of which I really thought that it was particularly good for that character. Shannon, you have to pop into the bathroom before your stream. You'll keep me up as long as you're still going. Thank you very much. Well, I will not be going on for a very long time. My live streams right now are a shorter time. So yeah, that's the character names. So that's one of the things I was doing during this session. And one of the things I was also thinking about was a few things of how Finlay sees Nejat and how that might work out during this particular event, and how others might have heard about things he has said in the past about Nejat, and how he claims to have felt about Nejat. And that, well, you know, it's giving options, let me put it that way. So it's right now, where I am in the story right now, he might even feel that he has a good chance of getting out of this without more wounds than he already has, because he has certain wounds. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. For Seamys, the situation looks more dire, and we'll see how that goes. Well, I know how it will go, but I can't tell you guys about that yet. But it's fun to see options, to have more shenanigans going on, and to have more scheming going on, or and also to have the suggestion for other characters, in this case a few of the bad guys, to have an inkling of what might be possible for them. If it is possible, I don't know, you'll have to read the story later on. But it's fun to write this. It's fun to see where I can add things that might give hope, or might give hope to the main characters, or might give hope to the bad guys, in one way or another. So yeah, that's always fun. And I like it that I also have options to use certain items that were used in ancient times, and that we have in somewhat similar way. I mean, a lighter we use for lighting cigarettes, but also for lighting a fire. I know people use that for lighting the tinder for a fire. And in ancient times, there were other ways to do that. People would carry around a small box of tinder to make sure that it wouldn't get wet and to still be able to light it. But they would also need something to actually spark that flame, because how would you do that? And with this flaming stick, that ancient Chinese flaming stick, I was like, you know what? I can actually use that, especially for dragon companions who fly everywhere and who can store it in their belt or something, so that they have a fire starter to make sure that they can spend the night in warmth, or go somewhere where they need some kind of light and they at least have that something with them. So yeah, it was fun to realize that I could use it in this way, because I've been watching Asian series for several years now, and I was like, that's actually a handy tool. Until a little while ago, I just didn't come up with the idea to actually use it in my own world. And then when I came up with the idea, I was like, it's been staring me in the face for years already. So yeah, this is fun. And now I'm also thinking about, okay, so you have a simple bamboo flame stick. It's just a bamboo tube. And I can imagine that you have a simple bamboo tube for common people who don't have a lot of money. But you might also have a bamboo tube which has an intricate design on the outside, to make it obvious that it's not a lighter from someone who doesn't have money, but instead from someone who is a noble, or who in one way or another has a lot of money, and so who can have that thing being made like that. And from what I understand is that nobles in Asia, for example, in ancient times, also could use a few additional things in that tinderbox to maybe give it an extra smell, a nice smell. For example, if you were lighting candles or something, and to have sulfur in it, for example, as a better material to have that light, to have that flame. So those are all things to think about, and it's fun to be able to incorporate that in my world building and in my story, because in the chapter that I was writing right now, one of the bad guys pulls out such a tool and shows it to Finlay. So yeah, it's fun to be able to use that, and to, I mean, it's, you shouldn't just, if I can give one world building advice to anyone who's watching this and who's wondering how to do it, don't just take something from another culture and just use it as it is in your world. Make sure that it is logical, that it can be used in your world. For example, that bamboo flame stick is logical that it can be used in Tergane, especially in Dragon City and Silken Bamboo and others, because they have bamboo. Silken Bamboo Empire has loads of bamboo growing because their archipelago is really excellent to have bamboo growing. They even have bamboo ships, of course, supported by magic. Because otherwise, things might not be that easy. I discovered that as well. But in this case, it's the bamboo that's growing everywhere, so that's easy, and to use that is logical in some way. So that's why I use that. And there are other things in Dragon City, for example, but also in Silken Bamboo, that can help with that tinder material, so that you actually have that lighter that you need. So that is how I incorporate it in Tergane, but it's very important to make sure that it can actually be a part of your world. And Tisha say, this is so good. You love anything Japanese, Asian culture. Hearing the history on the tools is intriguing, especially when you put it in your world. Thank you very much. Yes, it's so. I always love it, and I try to incorporate things from different cultures, but I want to make sure that it fits in my world, because otherwise it will tear my readers out of the story, and that's not what I want. And with this bamboo lighter, and for example with the name Inu, and Enu, I don't exactly know how you pronounce it. I still have to look that up. It's something that can really be part of Tergane. It's not something that is really far from it. And that's what I like. It's logical that it can be a part of this world in this way, and yeah, that's important to me, and that's how I use those kind of inspirations. And we were talking about games earlier on, and one of the side stories that is going to be a duology, a trilogy. I'll see about that, about the confectioner. That is something that is inspired by The Sims, for example, because you have certain options there to have a bakery and things like that. And there's that combined with a certain challenge in The Sims, From Rags to Riches, as it is called. That got me thinking about the Confectioner series. So I use all kinds of inspiration, and this Confectioner series is something that also is grounded deep into Tegane. For example, the confectioner has a magical skill that will help her with making her pastries, because she's a confectioner, so she needs pastries and sweets and things like that. And her magical skill helps her with that. And it's fun to be able to do that, to use all kinds of inspirations in your story. And for example, companions, dragon companions, so like Nejat and Seamys and Finlay and other characters you will all meet later on. They can be parabatais, as it is called. In this case, Nejat and Ruark, one of his team members, are parabatai. The first time I read about parabatai, I read the term parabatai, was in what's the series called? From Cassandra Clare, Mortal Instruments. Yeah, I think it's Mortal. It's called Mortal Instruments. I first read about it there, and I was like, "What's that?" And it was mentioned one time that it was Greek, and that was it. So eventually, I went to a museum here in the Netherlands to talk about it with a historian, to know more about the history. And it turned out it actually indeed was actual history from 1,000 years ago or something, and where there were indeed parabatai. They don't know a lot about parabatai, but what he gave me was enough to help me set that up and to make it really into something that's really unique for Tegane. I mean, Cassandra Clare made it unique for her worlds, and I'm making it in my way unique to Tegane, because I think it's very important. I mean, I was inspired by that. I mean, I found that word in her story. I did the research with the museum here in the Netherlands, and I wanted to make sure that I make it in a way that, in this case, it's unique for Tegane. So you might read it in two different books, in two different worlds, and they each have their own uniqueness in their own world. And while I was doing that research together with that historian, he also pointed out the importance of things like talismans and customs that people might have had in ancient times. And in this case, Tegane is a pre-industrial world. It's medieval-ish, as I call it. Probably somewhere between the high medieval times and whatever came after that. And it's set more in a tropical setting. Like Silk and Bamboo is a tropical archipelago. Dragon City is very close to that. And the continent of Natuan, where Dragon City is located in, is in its entirety a more tropical continent, comparable to, I don't know, countries like Indonesia and countries more in that region. So I really start out in a tropical setting. So I wanted to make sure that it will fit for that. And if you have customs, then you also need to look at how things can be for that particular setting. So I was that historian told me about thinking about talismans, about prayers, more things like that. And I was like, okay, that's a good idea. And how can I translate that into Teagne, into that part of the world that I'm writing currently. So yeah. And Shannon, you say, my world is a secondary Earth trope, but you include influences of different cultures. I think that by doing that, you create really your own unique world. And that's what's important, because if you are focused too much on one culture, it basically is just that culture and that's it. And yeah, by using or by using other cultures as inspiration, you really create your own unique world, and I like that. I love that. And you say your moon fae are inspired by Japanese customs. Interesting, interesting. And they say, oh, you need to read that one. Yeah, I was immediately thinking about the book that I bought through Shannon's Kickstarter. That's one. That's also still on my to be read list. And I think was that the Moon Fae series, or was that another series, Shannon? I don't quite remember. Shannon, you also took from our own world history. At one point, the Chinese kept the third ingredient in black powder, gunpowder, a secret. It was called Chinese snow. I read about that indeed, and that's really interesting. And you say in your world it's dwarven snow. Oh, that's a fun word on that, wordplay on that. And the third ingredient was bat guano. Yeah, it's so fun to discover how things work and what you can do with it. And I mean, I've even read, and I still need to confirm that somehow, that flour that bakeries use for bread, that can even be explosive. So I still need to have that confirmed, because that's something that might cause some issues in Dragon City. And Shannon, you say you have a novelette with the Moon Fae coming out in May next year. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. And Shannon, you say you absolutely love digging into it. I can imagine that. It's so fun to get really into the history and into how things are made. I mean, in Silk and Maboo, obviously silk is also a very important material. And I found out that there are several kinds of silk, and they are produced in various ways. So I really looked into that. And one of the things that I now have in my world is a festival that revolves around silk making and everything that plays around that. And you also see all the different kinds of silk and how they are produced, from the original ingredients, like the silkworms, but also lotus, some type of lotus flowers and things like that. So yeah, that's fun. Tish, say you're going to make sure you get it, adding it to your list right now. That's about the Moon Fae novelette from Shannon. And Shannon, you say the book I bought is during the time that the Moon Fae no longer exists. You find out there are only 2 left in the book. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait to read it. And Shannon, you say you write romantasy, Tish, and that one is called Starling and the Moon Blade. Oh, Starling and the Moon Blade, yeah. And Shannon, feel free to post the link. Can you post the link without the HTTP? Because I think that otherwise it will be kept through the automod. And Shannon, you say you will be having beta readers read that novelette in January, along with 2 others, as this will be a part of the series, all standalone, but 1 book for each of your 8 elements. 8 elements, wow! And right now, the first 3 stories of that series are with your Omega readers. And you can't post a link without a range. Can I... Let's see, can I do that easily? Yeah. Do you have it linked in your YouTube channel? Let me check it out. then I can post the link. And oh wait, I think if I make you, I think I can do this, and now you should be able to post it. Oh, that's from Tish. Hold it. And Shannon should now also be able to post it. And where's Mackie? Mackie. And Mackie has been added as well. So Mackie, also feel free to post your links if you want to in the future. So yeah, that should work now for you guys. Shannon, you say it's not on your YouTube yet. You haven't started advertising it because it's going through the reader process. And to say, oh, you were thinking you had a book out now. Shannon, yeah, you have the power. Shannon, maybe you can post the link to that book that I had bought through the Kickstarter. If you have that on Amazon or something. And Tish, feel free to post your book link as well to Not Before You Enter. Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, that's all about a few things of Tergane and how I use that in my books, real world history, ancient history, things like that, and research. And where I am right now, it's fun to do that, to be able to do that. Did you say any of your fantasy books you're reading over the holiday? And Shannon, you do have some books out now. The first book in the series that Ilse has bought is in the future of the novelettes, but you learn that the main character of the first book has Moonfey ancestry. That's awesome. This is going to be great. Yeah. So guys, feel free to post your book links. You should be able to do that now that you are a moderator. So feel free to post your books. And then you guys can help each other with that. And once I have finished my first draft of this series, let me know if you guys want to read the first draft to help to be a pre-alpha reader. It is a fantasy series, so keep that in mind, because I will be looking for a few pre-alpha readers for this story. It's not a story that I will publish as a book on Amazon. It's going to be my reader magnet, newsletter magnet. So it will be a free story that will be for the newsletter subscribers. But I'd love to have more readers who would like to read that before I finish it into the nth draft and the final story. And Tish, you say it will be your first fantasy read. Excellent. And that's the link for Shannon's first book. And Tish, well, now you are signed up. Thank you very much. You will better read. Well, the fun part is this will be even pre-beta reading, because this is going to be the first draft, so it might be a bit rough. And Shannon, you say the first book is not very spicy with the romance. It was your first book in romantasy, and you pivoted from fantasy. So yeah, that's fun. I mean, it's fun to be able to read books from people you know, and I love that. It's really wonderful. And Tish, you purchased Shannon's book. Excellent. And it's so I find it so fun that we can just help each other and support each other in multiple ways by helping with pre-alpha, beta reading, whatever it's called, and or in whatever part of the process you are, and by helping each other with promotion of the books and buying each other's books. I feel that that's very important to do. And Shannon, you say, do you want to read the rough drafts with those first 3 novelettes, Tish? The second one is the Moonfay one. And Tish, you say, it is, writers are your superstars. Yeah, that's so great. And Tish would love that. And Shannon, you have those with your Omega readers, and it closes December 15th. And Tish will wait since it's almost closed. Oh, I'm going to open that link. Can I open it? Why can't I open that link? No, oh, I'm in a different. There we go. Now I should be able to open it. This 36,000 words. Excellent. You're doing an amazing job, Shannon. It's incredible. Come on. Hello. Yes, there we go. There we go. Now it's back. So for today, this is it for our creative session of the day. I hope you all had a wonderful time. And once this story has been finished, once the first draft has been finished, I will send it to pre-alpha readers, and then I will revise it afterwards. I'll probably revise it a few times, depending on what you guys think of it. And then we'll go maybe to another group, or to the same group, I'll see, and do one more round, and then it will become part of my newsletter, because it's yeah, that's what I had in mind. And Shannon, you say thanks for the talk. You're welcome. You're welcome very much. Oh, that's weird. I can't highlight that anymore. Okay. Weird. Anyways, you're welcome. I'm glad you will like the talk, and we'll see each other soon again. For those who are looking forward to more writing sprints, go check out Shannon's live stream, because she is currently running her own live stream on YouTube. So go check her out, and I wish you all a wonderful day.